Panthers, Lions, the next week 2 matchup I'll be previewing here on the Sports News Analysis YouTube channel. And to me, this game a huge one for the Lions. Why do I say that? Look, I don't think the Lions are obviously going to have nearly as easy a time with this Panthers defense like they had certainly with the Giants in week 1. And the flip side as well. Although the Panthers offense to me isn't great, they're still markedly better than a Giants offense who's still in flux, to put it mildly. So from a Lions perspective, all right, this is a test of Jim Caldwell's come in. Can they limit the turnovers? Can they limit the dumb penalties? And can they slug out a game in the trenches with a front seven of the Panthers that looked just like they did last year? To me, the Panthers were a team that was doubted because they didn't have enough weapons on the outside. Well, Kelvin Benjamin looked pretty good to me. All right, they were doubted for an offensive line that was thought to be in a state of flux. They looked pretty good against what was thought to be a pretty good front seven of the Buccaneers. So can the Lions offense, led by Matt Stafford, limit the turnovers, put up the kind of numbers or close to the kind of numbers that they were able to against the Giants in week 1? I doubt that because how could you not be impressed by this Panthers front seven, by that front four in particular, getting after the quarterback with Luke Kuechly obviously behind them at linebacker. This is a defense that I think the only way they get exposed is if for some reason they're not able to get any pressure on Matthew Stafford, and that secondary of the Carolina being probably the weak point of the defense. But from a Lions perspective, I don't see how they could really envision getting anything going on the ground. All right, I think it's going to be about protecting Matt Stafford, limiting penalties and limiting turnovers. From the Panthers' point of view, they're going to get Cam Newton back this week. I think it's important for Cam not to try to do too much. I think that's what Cam did a great job of last year. When Carolina really turned the corner, Newton was able to limit turnovers, make plays when he needed to, and not be the reason why the Panthers lost games. He played to their strength, which the strength of the Panthers still is that defense. So I think that's going to be key for the Panthers to play to their strengths that way, and for the Lions to really try to do their best to protect Matt Stafford, to take advantage of throws down the field to the plethora of weapons that Stafford has. You saw him on display in week 1, whether it was Golden Tate, who had a couple big plays, obviously Calvin Johnson, who was huge, and they even have 3 tight ends who get in the mix with Fourier, Pettigrew, and the rookie Eric Ebron. So I think it's strength versus strength. The passing game of the Lions versus that front seven of the Panthers, both of which I think are the top 5 in those respective categories in the league. This game is the home opener for the Panthers. But again, it comes down to me. Has Jim Caldwell implemented a culture yet that can be tough enough and smart enough and execute good enough to go on the road and win a game against, to me, a big-time team in the Panthers? For me personally, I have to see that the Lions can go into an environment like this against a rough-and-tumble defense and be physical and win a game. Before I see that, I know they were impressive last week. I'm going to go with Carolina in this one, -2.5 at home against the Lions. Guys, let me know what you think about this game. I think this is one of the under-the-radar, very good matchups here in week 2 because it's going to tell us a lot about the Lions. Hit me up in the comments. Hit me up on Twitter as well. Be sure to subscribe. Hit me up on Twitter as well. Thanks as always for listening. Have a great day.